I am excited today to share with you my first wash and retwist. My loctician, Leah, my sister-in-law, she is still here and she is going to help me to understand how to wash my hair, and she's going to do my first retwist. As you can see, my hair is a little frizzy. I'm about 4 weeks in and it's time for it to be done. So I want to take you along for the ride and hopefully you can learn something from today. As Leah was doing my hair, I was telling her that my scalp was itching so bad, which I learned later was called tension itch. It's a real thing, y'all. My scalp itched me so bad.
Scalp has gotten to get used to just like having your own natural oils and different things.
Yeah. All right, y'all. They're all down. Check it out. 4 weeks, about 4 weeks in.
And what I'm doing now is, because you are still in infancy, that's just the easiest way to say it. I'm just basically going to put a light braid in here,
Okay.
to keep them together.
Okay.
And I'm going to secure it with a rubber band. And so then that way, when you're going to wash it, you'll be able to go in and you're not going to have to worry about these coming apart or anything. So you'll be able to get in here and scratch as much as you want, to dig and, to do whatever it is that you want to do. But I'm only doing this because you have basically baby locks.
Okay.
As your locks mature, you're not going to need to do this because you're not going to be worried about them, coming apart. Your hair, you have a soft texture of hair.
Okay.
And that's another reason why I'm doing this. If your hair was thicker, I wouldn't be worried about it because the hair wraps around itself. But because it is soft, I'm doing this basically so that you can get in here and, do whatever scrubbing you want to do to make your scalp feel good.
Okay.
And there's definitely a difference between when you do your hair and somebody else does your hair.
Okay.
But for at least, I'm going to say for you, because of the softness of your hair for the first 6 months, you want to basically secure your hair until your locks start the maturing process. Okay. And you'll be able to see the difference.
Okay.
All right, you are set for your wash.
All right.
See you in a little while.
Let's do
We're
this.
gonna go get this wash and then we'll retwist.
All right. Y'all, my scalp is feeling so good right about now. I did go old school and wash my hair in the kitchen sink. I know some people think that's dirty or nasty, but I grew up with my mom washing me and my sister's hair in the kitchen sink. And when we were real little, when we were able to lay on the counter, she washed our hair, yes, in the kitchen sink. How many of you all grew up like that?
You can condition your hair. I usually, if I'm using a moisturizing shampoo, I don't stress about a conditioner until, after it's been in for a while, maybe about 4 or 6 months. But you can condition the hair. There's no reason not to.
Okay.
You just have to be careful about leaving it on too long.
Okay.
Because conditioners also are detanglers.
Okay. Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
How's your scalp feeling now that it's washed?
Feeling good. Real good. My hair looks spongy, but it is part of the process.
So one of the things that'll happen is as your locks grow, you can see that I'm doing like a little bit of separation because the fibers that are, especially your gray fibers, because they're a little bit looser, will try to, what I call, marrying each other, and you got to make sure that they get divorced.
Oh my goodness, that's a good way of thinking about it.
Like it'll start bunching up, and so I'm just basically pulling it straight to help you to maintain your length as we're going through this. So kind of like here, I don't know if you can really see it, but it'll start bunching up so that it doesn't end up creating too many knots at the bottom of your locks. And I can show you what knots look like because I have some. But I just pulling through it just to try to help to keep them as straight as possible. Okay, so you see how it kind of like bunched up?
Yeah.
And so all I did was just pull it to kind of straighten it out.
Okay. While Leah was doing my hair, my cell phone rang. She had to stop in the midst of my retwist.
You ready?
Yeah. And we are back. Let me tell you what just happened. In the midst of my retwist, I got a phone call from my husband, and he was in an accident. So we had to push pause. It's about an hour and a half later. Is that right?
About an hour.
Yeah, about an hour later. He's fine, thank the Lord. He was T-boned, and he ran into a telephone pole. All the airbags deployed, but he is fine. Praise God, and we're back to do my retwist.
So, because we took as long as we did, so now I'm just gonna have to re-wet it in sections to do this, and it's fine. Suggest every 4 weeks as you're in the starter lock phase, but as your locks mature, you can definitely stretch it to 6 to 8.
Okay.
And a lot of it also, once again, depends on how fast your hair grows.
Right.
All I'm doing is just basically just pulling it out to straighten it out as much as I can, because the process is starting. And so that's one of the ways that you can tell, is that you'll start getting little bumps along your locks to be able to tell that the process is starting. And so then you just, once you pull it out as straight as it can go, then you just keep on and going with the regular retwist. But that's kind of like where you can start telling that your locking is starting to happen. And then because what the locking is doing is just, hair wrapping around itself. Literally, you can see how much product I'm not using. And one of the things, so my daughter and I were having this conversation yesterday about all products are not equal. And I'm very intentional about the products that I use, because some products can be too heavy for your hair. And you're like me, we have a fine grade of hair. People like to talk about 4C hair, which is basically kind of like a thicker or coarser. We don't, so like they can use thicker gels. I never suggest anybody using an Echo gel for a retwist, because you don't need all that alcohol in your head.
That's good.
But I can understand the need for a thicker gel to hold down the tighter textures. But because your hair is just as soft as mine is, we don't necessarily need something, what do you want to call it, like heavy.
Gotcha.
And so just like even with this, I just pull it so that it is straight as it can be, but that's part of the process. I just don't want it to be to the point where, like, if you don't pull them, you can end up getting thick knots along your locks. I put my hair back up in the same style for 2 reasons. One, I was getting ready to go on vacation, and another reason is for convenience. I love the idea of just putting my scarf on at night and getting up in the morning and taking it off and going. Thank you so much for coming along with me on this journey. My locks have become more than just a hairstyle. They're a symbol of my growth, patience, and self-expression. I'm trusting the journey, and most importantly, I'm loving myself through it all.